9 January 2024, and today I've got a quick update, and this is with regards to all the stories that are making the headlines across Zimbabwe. And we're obviously going to start with the trending story of Penalonga, and this is a Redwing mine. There is now calls by General Chiwenga for the investigation to be carried out, in that disaster. And if you look at the state press, you will realize that General Chiwenga is currently the acting president. So many people are probably not aware that General Chiwenga is the acting president at the moment. But General Chiwenga is saying, regardless of who owns those mines, there should be an investigation into what happened at the mine. But it's clear what happened there. There is a big problem with regards to how people who do mining activities, who are working with the first family, and ED, the twins, and all the guys around there, they need to do things formally. And I think the investigation call by General Chiwenga here is timely. This is something very important, but I don't know what it means in terms of if they are actually going to be able to investigate someone like Scott, who is clearly working very closely with ED. So let's see what happens. General Chiwenga has said there must be an investigation into that mine. In fact, he said regardless of who owns that mine, there should be an investigation. You can see that story in the Chronicle newspaper. You can see it in the Herald newspaper. All those two stories, that story is there in those two newspapers. And General Chiwenga is the acting president currently. Then I want to go quickly to another story, which is CCC spokesperson, deputy spokesperson, Ostallos, Gift Ostallos Siziba. He's being accused by Tshabangu of approaching him so that he could get a signature for the by-elections. So Tshabangu says Ostallos came to him and received a signature for him to contest in the current by-election as the official candidate of the CCC. And then he went to Harare and got another signature from the CCC of Nelson Chamisa, and then took the one that he got from Chamisa, hoping that the Sengezo guys would not put a candidate because they would be thinking that they signed for him. So it was Senator Phugeni who spoke to I think that was the newspaper, said that Ostallos wanted to trick them, but they knew what he was up to and they put a second candidate. Ostallos has denied those allegations. So you can see that story in the newspaper. Gift Ostallos Siziba being accused by Sengezo Tshabangu of approaching him for a signature. But Ostallos says he has never dealt with Tshabangu, he has never dealt with Phugeni. So I think we need to ask Senator Phugeni the next time we see him if he actually is telling the truth when he says that Ostallos approached Tshabangu for a signature. Very interesting. Then Job Sikhala will not be released. That is Ziyambi Ziyambi. They are going to keep him under lock and key 600 days since he was put in jail. So that is what Ziyambi Ziyambi has told the press, that the courts will be allowed to do whatever. ED will not interfere in the issue of Job Sikhala, and Job Sikhala is not a political prisoner. However, Promise Mkwananzi, spokesperson of the CCC, says Job Sikhala is a political prisoner and he must be released because he's representing the family of Mo Blessing Ali. That is why he was arrested. Now, we have an update on how many people were killed during the festive season. 138 people have been killed. And this is due to reckless driving and bad roads. So the Ministry of Transport has actually put out a statement saying people are driving very recklessly, especially haulage trucks and buses. You can see all those, that statement in the Herald newspaper. It's terrible the way that the road system is in Zimbabwe, especially between Bulawayo and Bedbridge and Masvingo. Those roads are very bad. Worse, if you're traveling between Harare and Kariba, that stretch, I lost a tire there. The roads are very bad. People are losing their lives. And there is poor lighting on the roads. There's no dualization. these are the problems that we have in Zimbabwe. Then we go to Hwange. Hwange local board is inviting investors who want to invest in hotels and lodges. They've got land. The spokesperson there, Dumisani Nsingo, has put out that call, and he says if you want to invest, they've got land set aside for mines and lodges, and you know that it's only like 50 to 60 kilometers from Victoria Falls. Then in the sports news, Johnfat Sibanda is seeking re-election as chairman of Highlanders. And in business news, Edgars has appointed a new CFO who was formerly at CFI, that is Chesternoel Mutevhe. And then schools are opening today. In Africa, Zuma, President Jacob Zuma, his new political party, MK Party, is giving the ANC sleepless nights. They're holding a national parade this weekend. I anticipate and I predict that there will be massive violence in the South African election, this particular election, especially in KZN. There's going to be massive problems because of this new political party, which is basically overriding the ANC and threatening to split their votes in a massive way. The political landscape of South Africa will never be the same again after this particular election. I want to end with a notice that I saw, very interesting notice, the death of Bridget Makiwa. I think the Minister of Education has put out a statement, and I don't know who she is, but you can see they've put out a statement in all the newspapers, putting out condolences to all her family. So I don't know who she is, but there must be a reason why they put out that statement. Apparently she was in their communication department. I now want to end with the issue of cholera. Cholera is a big problem in Zimbabwe. It's spreading across all the cities. It's spreading across Harare. More than 5,000 people infected in Harare, and there's still no water, running water in Harare. Most areas are getting water 2 times a day. So that is, you get it in the morning, you get it in the evening. Most places in Harare do not have water tanks. Things are very dirty. If you are holding anything in Harare, it's very, very dirty. And this is not the problem of the council. ED needs to declare a state of emergency so that water can be made available, so that international organizations can assist to put in place water, running water in Harare. Harare is a problem, and this cholera is spreading to smaller towns, and it's impacting business, it's impacting tourism. So this is a story that I have, and let's recap. General Chiwenga has called for investigation into Scott Sakupwanya's mines at Redwing, and he says this must be done regardless of who owns that mine. General Chiwenga is the acting president of Zimbabwe currently. Then he says when that investigation is done, obviously action must be taken, and that mine is currently closed as we speak, the portion which collapsed. I don't know about the rest of the other portion, and I'm sure that they're going to make sure that they don't continue to mine when the situation is like that. And as I said to you yesterday, there's a link between that mine, Scott Sakupwanya, Kudata Gire, the twins, and other parties around ED. Then, as I said, Job Sikhala will not be released. Ostallos has denied that he went to Tshabangu to ask for a signature, but Phugeni says he did, and so we need to confirm whether that happened. And then 138 people have died during this festive season. Schools are opening today. These are the stories that we had today, and I hope that you guys enjoy your day. Let's look at the comments here. If there's anything, it would not make sense for Chiwenga to investigate Mnagagwa and family. Yes, you are right. But let me tell you something about Chiwenga. What is going to happen? If Chiwenga is not careful, he's not going to be president. You get this? He needs to make a plan. You can't be president in Zimbabwe. They won't hand it to you. No one is going to ever hand you a presidency in Zimbabwe. Because when you become president of Zimbabwe, you start sitting on 100 billion every year. No one is going to give you 100 billion on your hands. It's not possible. So what Chiwenga needs to do, he needs to understand that it's got 1,000 days to make it happen. So he needs a strategy to become president. and I'm not pretending here to know how Chiwenga is going to do this, but he needs a strategy. And the strategy is, how do I deal with the outgoing? How do I build a team? How do I build a team internally and a team externally? Because where ED has failed is, firstly, people are not making money. Secondly, ED has failed to unite the country. You can see how much divided the country is. The country is backward. Everything is not working under ED. Chiwenga must make sure that when he gets in ZANU-PF, remember Chiwenga, it's automatic that he must be ZANU-PF president. There's no question about it. There is no one who can challenge Chiwenga right now. And ED will rely on Chiwenga's protection when he leaves office. You see how it works. So Chiwenga needs to understand the dynamics internally and the dynamics externally. And internally, he needs to make sure that there are no challengers. He needs to make sure that they don't take him out, because the possibility is very, very high that he'll be taken out before that time is there. So internally, he needs to deal with that internal strategy. Externally, he needs to assure all Zimbabweans that when he becomes president, things are going to improve. Not what has happened under ED. Under ED, things have gotten worse. No one is making money. There's no direction. And right now, if I ask you, why is ED refusing to have a dialogue with Chamisa so that things can normalize? It does not make sense. And this is why I'm saying Chiwenga needs a strategy. And Chiwenga, right now, he needs to assert himself. He's very quiet. Like, I almost got shocked that he was an acting president. He needs to start showing himself more. And he needs to build his team underground and overground. This is how you become a president. You don't become a president by being shy. And people must know and know that you are able to assert yourself. And also there must be a change of culture. People must welcome a new change of culture, not what we're seeing right now. So this is my point and my comment to your Nkoma MS. I think this is a story for another day. You are bombarding me with comments on how Chiwenga is done and so forth. This is not true. I think you cannot be the military head and you're a done head. That is totally out. I don't agree that Chiwenga is a done head. In fact, what I think is Chiwenga is more ruthless than Mnagagwa. Mnagagwa is not able to create a coherent strategy. He is unable. Let me give you why I'm saying that. When he got in, he had so much goodwill around him. People loved Mnagagwa. They wanted him to be president. They hated Mugabe. But when he entered, what is the first thing that he did? Do exactly the same things that Mugabe was doing. Take the same team that Mugabe had. Fight and alienate the opposition. Fail to create international relationships. This is the legacy of Mnagagwa. How easy is it for the guy who's coming in to fix this? It's so easy. If anyone who goes in after Mnagagwa will be able to fix Zimbabwe, will be able to make things work. And the period of Mnagagwa will become a dark period where no one knows what happened. Except if you look at, I was looking now at the country strategy of the United States, on which was presented by the US Embassy in Zimbabwe, which I'm going to unpack sometime. They have said Mnagagwa has resulted in the death of 21 people. You can see it it's in the country strategy of the United States Embassy. It's right there that ever since he got into office, the only thing he's done is to centralize power, is to protect his family, and is to kill those 21 people. It's all there in that strategy. And it means the international bodies, people from outside, they don't see Mnagagwa as someone who has done anything. This is what I mean when I say, if Chiwenga was to get into office, it would be very, very easy to fix. But remember what I always say. Chiwenga needs to understand the dynamics. Half of the people in Zimbabwe, officially, I'm not talking about the rule of votes here, vote for Chamisa. Chamisa is the most popular person in Zimbabwe. Chamisa is calling for a national transitional authority. This is perfect. You've got a person that is able to negotiate, who is offering you a way to transition Zimbabwe over a period of time. and ED has not taken it. ED has not even understood what dialogue means. And I think this is something that we need to unpack. I digress. There's a lot more that we need to cover, but I don't think this is the moment to cover it. I'll cover these issues when I look at the US country strategy. This was actually, I don't know why it has become big now, but it was produced in March 2022. So when I looked for the latest one, I was surprised to find out that people are talking about something from 2022. So this is it for today, and thank you very much everybody for watching here. I'll be back again tomorrow. If we get Senator Phugeni, we'll have to ask him about the Ostallos. If Ostallos approached Sengezo Tshabangu, we need to approach him and ask him that question. I've been trying to get hold of him since yesterday. Unfortunately, I was unable to get him. Who will vote for Chiwenga? There will be no need to vote for Chiwenga if there's an NTA. That is what I mean. Right. Thank you very much, everybody. And I will see you again tomorrow.